Have you ever felt invisible as a child? Like you were there in between all of these kids, but then again, you were just an observer. You were not really there, part of that group. You were just allowed to be there, allowed to be included, but you were not fully playing with the kids. It was just funnier to have a lot of kids around, so you were allowed to stay around. But you never interacted with the kids too much as a child, as a kid yourself. You were just, you just did whatever they did because you didn't know what else to do. And it felt weird because you felt like the kids had an understanding of human behavior and connection and connecting personality that you never got to have a grip on, that you never got the script for, basically. You never got to understand how they just behaved that naturally, how they knew the social cues and what to say and what not to say in specific moments. And you were stuck just trying to understand behavior and rules, social rules. And eventually you grew up staying an observer. And that's why when I'm with a group of friends, I'm mostly quiet. I mostly listen and observe what others say, what they do, how they behave, how they move. If something changes in their voice and in their behavior when they talk to specific people in the group, if the dynamic is positive, if there's something negative in the air, if I have to, if I have to concentrate on a weird dynamic in the group, if I notice anything, if there is something to notice, and just everything, just every kind of behavior, noticing that and observing it, analyzing it, understanding it, and then having an opinion about it. If it's good or bad, that's something entirely else. But having an opinion about it and understanding the person and noticing the little things, that's really important. And since I grew up like that, it's always been my duty to analyze everyone, to understand their personalities, their behavior, the kind of jokes they make, what they say, how they say it, and sometimes even mimicking one or two things that I think are important in human behavior, because I myself would not have thought about it, right? Sentences that some people say, I copy because otherwise I wouldn't know that I'd have to say it. And different kinds of speaking mannerisms and like behaviors, like hand movements and body movements, especially when you're standing and you're talking to someone, like how to lean naturally on a counter, or how to rest your hands so that you look natural and chill and relaxed and not like you're just playing a role. So I've done that all my life, as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult now. And you know how you eventually, when you learn something or you start to learn something, you're bad at it. But after years and years of trying it and repeatedly doing it, you get to be good. But with this, understanding personality and understanding behavior, human, authentic, natural behavior, you never get the hang of it. You never got to understand how it works and what's behind all of that. How people are able to do it naturally and why you can't. So as a child, you were just included. But now that you're older, you still feel invisible because you don't interact the same. You're allowed to be there, you're included in the groups, but only because your partner is extroverted enough to have a lot of social connections. So eventually your battery just runs out of power enough that you're not even talking any longer. You're just sitting there quietly looking around, or just on your phone doing basically nothing, because your phone at least feels like a safe space that you can come back to in case everything gets so overwhelming and overstimulating. And then you just sit there not being capable of an actual normal conversation, and you feel like you're a faker in this dynamic, like you're the imposter in all of this. But you've always done it this way, and you can't ever imagine how to get through the secret to understand how everyone behaves this naturally. So until then, you're forced to stay in this kind of in between of learning and understanding, and it's just complicated. And meanwhile, you'll stay invisible to everyone, and someone who's always looking from afar as the invisible person in the group, not really talking a lot, not able to socialize a lot because they don't have the energy to socialize enough to be part of the group dynamic. Yeah. Life is difficult if you're not socially gifted, even though you want to be. I wish I was. I wish I had a lot of friends, and I wish it didn't drain me out to be social after spending time with them. Why does it have to take all my energy just because I talk to someone? Isn't that bizarre? Why does it have to be that way? That is so difficult. It is so exhausting all the time, and I wish it wasn't like that, but I cannot change anything. It is not on me to change this, unfortunately. So I think until we found a solution to all of this, people like us will always stay invisible, and it will always be difficult for us to interact in such a big group. And even more if you're one-on-one, because then all the attention is always on you, and you have to stay focused and keep on interacting, even if your social battery is run out. Which then again is the good thing about big groups, because you can just hide away and people will not mind as much since there's still a lot of people around. But it's really interesting because I feel like everyone else is feeling the world a little differently than I am, because you cannot tell me that everyone else feels invisible as well, that they're not able to converse properly, and that I feel like conversations are really difficult to hold up. I feel like everyone is able to do that and is really fine with conversing and socializing, except for me. And then I'm the weird one, stuck in this dynamic as the weird one. And it's a shit role, actually. I hope to not be invisible anymore one day. I hope to really include myself in groups and be part of those groups and conversations, and not feel uncomfortable and drained every time I talk a few sentences. Yeah. Why is life like that? I don't even understand. How can it be difficult just to talk, just to have a conversation, just to connect with people? I thought I was like a community animal. Like, am I not like an animal that is supposed to have connections? How come I cannot understand human connections then? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I cannot explain it.